Hey guys, welcome back. We're at the beautiful Mission Viejo Country Club in Mission Viejo, right? And we're with our friends that own Dart Only Golf, and they're the ones that put on these charity events. They help people like Tilly's, who we just had on a minute ago, make this thing come to fruition. Right, Tom?
Yeah, absolutely.
Explain to our people out there what you do and how you can help them with their events.
Yeah, our focus is bringing the event to life for all of our clients. You know, charitable golf tournaments seem like they're very easy to put on. Everybody does them all over the place. But there's a lot of moving parts to them, especially to events of this caliber. And if you're really trying to raise a lot of money for your foundation, you have to put on experience. So that's where I think we really help our clients and our partners in bringing the event to life. So it's fun, it's exciting, but you don't always see the grueling efforts that go behind the scenes to make these things happen.
Have you expand on that a little bit? I've done a few tournaments in my day, nowhere to the extent you've done, right? So let's say you've got a tournament that does...
Well, tell them, you've got Michigan State.
I got a Michigan State one I do every year, Alumni Orange County Alumni Association.
What's to talk to you about, by the way?
Yeah, we're gonna have to start doing that. And for this very question, right? Because we think, okay, we can do it ourselves. We can do this internally, we can save money, it'd be a lot easier to do that. But the step up that you provide is significant. Tell us what that step up is.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of a few things. We bring a lot of brand partnerships to the table. Given we do these events, even now all over the country, we've expanded outside of California. You know, the brand partnerships we have, whether it's swag or, you know, beverage sponsors or food sponsors. Vodka, one of our favorites. Yeah, they're okay. We bring them every once in a while. But, you know, I think that's where we can bring our Rolodex, to use an old antiquated term, of people that we can help make the event more successful, especially if you have a 501c3 organization. We can get a lot of that stuff in kind, you know, which helps, you know, your net profit. So that's a big part of what we do.
And Monica's here. Monica, you are co-owner of this company.
Correct.
What do you say, a minority female business owner? All right, I appreciate that. Yeah, tell us what you think about this whole thing.
I think when Tom and I put our heads together, we produce a very well orchestrated event, right? Not everyone sees what goes on behind the scenes, what are some of the things that might go wrong. And with any production, with any event, there's always going to be something that comes up that you're not anticipating.
Like every time.
Every time.
Every 99.9% of the time.
And that's not poor planning.
No.
Not at all.
That's human beings.
Absolutely. You know, God forbid there's, you know, maybe a vendor might be late or someone forgot something. We'll go behind the scenes and go and pick it up or do what we can to make sure the event, the participants, the owners, whoever is participating in that event, they don't feel any sort of delay. And we take a lot of pride in that.
You know, it's interesting. I've been in the music industry most of my life. And we put on huge events from the Super Bowl to Argentina, you name it. And there's always a nightmare. There's always a dumb thing that, you know, there's always that one guy that screws up or gal that screws up, and you're like, you guys got to make it happen.
Yeah, and that's what's great is, like, even probably while I'm sitting here, we've probably gotten 15 text messages of issues or questions or whatever it is. That's where it allows you to enjoy the event as the host.
Correct.
Interact with your sponsors and your guests. And then if something's going wrong, you just send me a quick text or text our team.
Which you never get to do, right? I mean, even when I have parties at my house, I'm cooking, I'm replacing food, I'm doing this, I don't talk to anybody.
Yeah, right.
Right.
And that's what we want you to have to be able to enjoy, because I've hosted my own tournament and I've been that, you know, chicken with my head cut off running around, and everybody wants to talk to you because you're the host. But then that's fine, let them bring the problems to you. But that's where our team, we have a team of 15 people here today under us that are just constantly on the course. Now that the shotgun's out, you know, they're servicing ice, they're taking people on bathroom breaks, they need a lunch, or do they need to run in the car because they forgot their business cards, they can't do business all day. Like we give that experience, so next year when you want to do it again, you know, the sponsors and the players, they feel that. And they'll pay the money that
You pay for convenience.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, here's what happens. You hire Dart Only Golf, and you go play golf, you drink some Hammer vodka,
right.
great time on the course, you visit with all your friends, and let them handle all the BS, you know, and all the things that go on behind the scenes, because it's so many moving pieces.
Yeah.
And I imagine, Hammer, at the end of the day, what you have to charge to do what you do is less than probably what the bottom line is for their tournament, right? I mean, you're cost effective. It makes sense to do that.
When you have events of this caliber, for what we charge, and we customize to our client. Like we have packages and this and that, but we want to really tailor to what your goals are. And I think that's where we differentiate ourselves is, we can say, hey, this is what we charge for a tournament. Like, but what are you really trying to achieve? How many activations do you have? Who are you working with? Can I find a way to lower your cost that actually kind of pays for our fee itself? That's what we try to do.
Yeah, Monika, you were talking about maybe going nationwide. Can you replicate yourselves? I mean, you're still the same business, but can you satellite yourselves and make this parapedal?
I think strategically, when Tom and I put our heads together, absolutely. Absolutely.
And we have an event in Nashville coming up in early June. So, we're consulting for that one. They're an early, third year tournament. They've been struggling. So we brought our expertise, restructured how they did sponsorships and player pricing. And then we brought some brand partners in. So now they've already exceeded where they were last year and the event hasn't even happened yet. So we'll fly out for that. We provide light logistics and just kind of run the show, make sure everything stays on task so they can just enjoy the day.
It's got to be tough. It's got to be tough to get sponsorships for these events unless they're paying them or doing whatever. So you guys help with that, right?
Yeah, we help bring in sponsorships. We also help just bring in leverage pricing. So not everything is free these days, especially with this economy.
Correct. Especially
food and beverage vendors aren't as easy to get in-kind donations anymore. So having that leverage point is really helpful. And then also just knowing how to run it. You see a lot of people overspend on things that they think is a great idea, but functionally or practically doesn't really work. So we help them make better decisions.
Do you ever deal with celebrities and things like that? Do you bring that in as well? Is that part of your package? Is that?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, that's always a moving target. So it's. And we appreciate anybody who comes out to support the charities, but those people are very busy, get a lot of requests. But we do a lot of events where we have fivesomes where every foursome plays with a celebrity the whole round.
Cool.
Yeah. We do things with the NFL where they have retired and current players out. So we deal with a lot of those things, and that's always fun and exciting. But creates another nightmare dynamic you have to manage. So having us for tournaments like that is even more logistically helpful because now you're running fivesomes and the card orders and setting it all up with the course and all those different things.
Where I see that happening is typically, usually a tournament's 144 players. You fly up, you have more than that. But the dinner afterward is where you can bring in a whole lot more people.
You have 300 plus people.
Exactly.
You have to plan for that, and then people don't budget properly. So we run all the budgets and financials for them as well to ensure they really know what they're walking into, because we've seen so many charities raise a lot of money, but then they get the final bill from the golf course and it's like, oh my God, we just loaded 20% of our profit.
I've done that with nonprofits before, and it's like you get to the accounting, it's like, oh crap,
Yeah.
we made $3,000.
People wonder why the tournaments are always on Mondays. Can you expound on that?
Yeah, so most people want to do a tournament at a private country club because that's a draw.
Right.
Private country clubs typically are closed on Mondays for maintenance, so there's no members here. They might be doing light maintenance on the course, but that's the only day they typically.
Which you can hear in the background, by the way, if you're listening.
Yeah. Yeah, they were punching fairways today. They were fixing some bunkers. They kind of stay out of the way, but again, it's the only day they allow us to come out. So.
Which is a beautiful thing. They got to do their thing, right? And it allows you to do your thing. And that, you know what, guys, I would encourage you to actually, darts only golf, going to a country club, going to the fancier places. I mean, you're going to make a lot more money for your
Right? Absolutely.
Go to some,
Yeah, I mean, again, you can charge more per player because people will pay just to be able to play the course, because you can't walk on Mission Viejo Country Club, and to even play as a guest is not the easiest thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've only played here twice in over 10 years. It's not the easy, and it's an amazing course. So I think that's where, coming out here, experiencing these courses that you might not ever experience again, you never know.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, guys, let me tell you something. Darts Only Golf, you're going to do a tournament. And by the way, even though Tom's here, it's a woman-owned company, just to let you know.
It's my boss.
That's the boss over there. And so the next charity event that you do, if it's not even golf, call Darts Only Golf, and they'll help you out.
Dartsonly.com?
Dartsonlygolf.com.
Dartsonlygolf.com.
Yeah.
And then we're on all the social pages, Instagram, TikTok.
We'll have all that down at the bottom here, guys. Peace out. Love you.